What if I told you that there was once a war fought over a single bucket? That a man once survived both the Hiroshima and Nagasaki atomic bombings? Or that an emperor made his horse a senator? These aren't urban legends. They're real moments in history, buried in dusty archives and old books, just waiting to make your jaw drop. Today, we're diving into 10 of the strangest, most unbelievable facts from history. The kind of things that make you rethink everything you thought you knew about the past. Before we get started, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you never miss a journey into the weirdest corners of history. Trust me, after today's list, you'll want more. 1. The War of the Bucket. In 1325, Italy saw one of the most bizarre conflicts ever recorded, the War of the Oaken Bucket. It all started when soldiers from the city of Medina stole a wooden bucket from the rival city of Bologna. Sounds petty? Absolutely. But the theft was taken as an insult to Bologna's honor. Instead of simply demanding the bucket back, they declared war. After months of skirmishes and thousands of casualties, Medina emerged victorious and kept the bucket as a war trophy. Today, that same bucket is still on display in Medina, a reminder of the strangest cause for war in medieval history. 2. The president who killed a man in a duel. Before becoming the 7th president of the United States, Andrew Jackson had a reputation for having a hot temper and a quick trigger finger. In 1806, he fought a duel with a man named Charles Dickinson over a personal insult and a dispute involving horse racing. Dickinson was known as one of the best marksmen in Tennessee, but Jackson deliberately let him fire first, taking a bullet to the chest. Wounded but still standing, Jackson calmly aimed and fired back, killing Dickinson instantly. He carried that bullet lodged in his body for the rest of his life. 3. The king who was declared dead. Twice, Louis XVII of France had one of history's most mysterious fates. As a child, he was imprisoned during the French Revolution, and in 1795, officials declared he had died in captivity at the age of 10. But over the years, dozens of imposters emerged claiming to be the lost prince, some even convincing European nobility. DNA tests conducted in the 1990s on a preserved heart, yes, his heart, finally proved the boy did die in prison. But for over 200 years, his survival fueled conspiracy theories and royal scandals. 4. The emperor who made his horse a senator. In ancient Rome, Emperor Caligula's reign was infamous for its extravagance and bizarre behavior. But nothing stands out more than his treatment of his favorite horse, Incitatus. Caligula lavished the animal with luxuries fit for royalty, including a marble stable, an ivory manger, and even oats mixed with gold flakes. He hosted lavish banquets in the horse's honor and, according to some sources, planned to appoint him as consul, one of Rome's highest political offices. Whether this was a sincere intention or a calculated insult to the Senate remains a mystery debated by historians. Regardless, the tale of Incitatus has endured for centuries as one of the most unusual and symbolic acts of power in Roman history. 5. The man who survived 2 atomic bombs. During World War II, Tsutomu Yamaguchi experienced what few could imagine and survived. On August 6, 1945, he was in Hiroshima when the first atomic bomb detonated, suffering severe burns and injuries. Despite the chaos, he returned to his hometown of Nagasaki to recover. Just 3 days later, on August 9th, fate struck again when the second atomic bomb exploded over the city. Remarkably, Yamaguchi survived both blasts, enduring unimaginable trauma, yet living on to the age of 93. In his later years, he became a passionate advocate for nuclear disarmament, sharing his story to warn the world of the horrors of atomic warfare. His life remains a rare and extraordinary testament to human resilience. 6. The Dancing Plague of 1518. In the summer of 1518, the citizens of Strasbourg, then part of the Holy Roman Empire, were struck by a bizarre phenomenon: compulsive dancing. It began with a single woman dancing in the streets without stopping. Within a week, dozens had joined her. Historical accounts describe people dancing uncontrollably for days, some until they collapsed from exhaustion and even to their deaths. Modern theories range from mass hysteria to ergot poisoning from moldy bread, but no one knows the true cause of this medieval dance fever. 7. Napoleon was once attacked by rabbits. Napoleon Bonaparte, the military genius who dominated Europe, once faced a most unusual enemy, a horde of rabbits. During a hunting event organized by his chief of staff, hundreds of domesticated rabbits were released for the emperor and his men to hunt. But instead of scattering in fear, the rabbits charged toward Napoleon and his party, likely because they were tame and used to being fed. Overwhelmed, the soldiers had to retreat. It wasn't exactly Napoleon's most glorious battle. 8. The Great Emu War. In 1932, Australia found itself in a peculiar military conflict, not against another country, but against emus. After World War I, farmers in Western Australia faced massive crop destruction from these large, flightless birds. The government sent soldiers armed with machine guns to deal with the emu problem. However, the birds proved incredibly fast and hard to catch. After weeks of failed attempts, the army withdrew in defeat. The emus had won, and the story became one of the most embarrassing chapters in Australian history. 9. The corpse that attended Parliament. In 897 AD, the Catholic Church held the infamous Cadaver Synod. Pope Stephen VI ordered the corpse of his predecessor, Pope Formosus, to be exhumed and placed on trial. Dressed in papal robes and seated on a throne, the decomposing body was accused of perjury and violating church law. Unsurprisingly, the corpse was found guilty. His papal title was stripped, and his body was thrown into the Tiber River. The event shocked Europe, and even today it remains one of the most macabre episodes in church history. 10. The man who survived being buried alive twice. In the 19th century, fear of being buried alive was so common that people invented safety coffins with bells or breathing tubes. One man, Angelo Hayes, was accidentally buried after a motorcycle accident left him in a coma. 3 days later, gravediggers exhumed him for an investigation and found him still alive. Years later, Hayes capitalized on his near-death experience by becoming a safety coffin salesman, even demonstrating his product by being buried for 30 hours during public exhibitions. History is often presented as a neat series of events: kings, wars, inventions, treaties. But when you dig deeper, you find stories so bizarre they almost sound like jokes, until you check the records and realize they actually happened. From wars over buckets to atomic bomb survivors, dancing plagues, and emperors with horse senators, the past is far stranger than fiction. If you enjoyed uncovering these weird historical gems, don't forget to subscribe for more tales that will make you question everything you thought you knew about history. Because sometimes, the truth really is stranger than fiction.